manager, pick the manager, pick the
in the quiet of the night. Piano keys whispering low. Let the rhythm take us slow. High, this life is sweet now. From the streets to the sweet now. For la, in the groove we stay. Stand why don't go away. Let the piano play. We never fade away. Soft and deep, we just vibe, no need to speak. Fall forever.
Applause. Let's start with an applause because I woke up early to farm for these likes. To farm for these subscribers. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with another episode of What's Trending. We are going to talk about the UEFA Champions League round of 16 games that commence today. And as I kind of said yesterday, this is where the real football begins. This is where the boys are separated from the men, and I cannot wait for today's games. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the Manchester United update. There's some injury boost news updates that are coming out ahead of, obviously, the fixture at the weekend where Manchester United play Aston Villa. But it's going to be a long time, an international break until then. It feels like it's going to be a long wait because there's Champions League football. And and that's where I kind of want to start the show today. And that's why I want to spend some time. It's not going to be a long show. This is just what's trending in the world of football today. So big up yourself for joining in. Thank you for being here. As I always like to say, kind reminder to do the thing where you do the thing, you know this thing right here. It's important you do that because it goes a long way. It goes a long way. YouTube makes the channel more visible if you do that. So anyway, so big up yourself, as I said, and yeah, let's get into it first of all right, let's get into the first thing, which is um how we think this round of 16 is going to go. Now, you know, it's played in two legs. Round of 16 is played in two legs. So what that means sometimes is that you can play the long game, which was usually a strategy that managers used to employ, especially when the away goal rule still was valid. But nowadays, I think a lot more managers and other teams prefer to put the tie away and get it done in the first leg. If you have the opportunity to uh, kill off a team in the first leg, you do that. This is a golden chance, especially if you're the home team first, right? Now, if you don't kill off a team in the first leg and the other home team, you're putting yourself in a disadvantaged position because when it comes down to it, that second half in the return fixture is the longest second half ever. And not only that, aggregate score may lead you guys to go play extra time and it becomes a nightmare. So the first leg is really a golden opportunity to make sure that you are through to the quarterfinals. And we've seen the matchups obviously. Today, one of the first games that will be played is Galatasaray versus Liverpool. You know? Big up to you, Venetia, in the building. Big up to Kitty Fit TV. Venetia says, "What has Champions League got to do with us, Mr. Puppy? Champions League has got nothing to do with Manchester United. So this is why I called this a Champions League round of 16 preview. We will talk Manchester United later on. So if you're one of those Manchester United fans that do not want to hear anything about another competition like Champions League today, if you're not watching Champions League today, this might not be the show for you. But if you're a general lover of football and you want to see Manchester United in the Champions League next season, and you want to know how a round of 16 nowadays can go and how teams nowadays are performing, this is the show for you. Um, Kenny Fen TV says hashtag no to Deserby. I respect that. I respect that. Deserby, it is clear. Yesterday, only 2 people voted for Deserby. And I get it. I get it. I get it. No, not a lot of people rate him, and we will leave that conversation there. So, but let's go back to Galatasaray versus Liverpool. Um, so, oh man, oh, big up Venetia. Where are you watching from, by the way? Which part of the world are you tuning in from? Big up yourself. I appreciate you so much for just being here. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. What was I gonna say again? About Galatasaray Liverpool, the Turkish club won that game 1-0 on soil. So what are they talking about here? This talking about the last 16 of the 2026 Champions League begins in Istanbul, right? Galatasaray and Liverpool played each other in the league phase. This is what they're talking about. And Galatasaray won 1-0. And they have only lost one of their last 9 home games against English sides in all competitions. Hey, hey. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! If you're a Scouser, I'll tell you right now, for free, it's not looking good. So Galatasaray already beat Liverpool 1-0, and they've only lost one of their last 9 home games against English sides in all competitions. And that defeat was over 11 years ago. Liverpool's record against Galatasaray isn't great. They've won just one of the 5 previous Champions League meetings. It's gonna be a hard knock life for Liverpool today. They won just one of the five previous Champions League meetings. That gives them a win rate of 20%, the joint lowest against any side they've faced over five times in the competition. Uh, Also, Liverpool have never won on three previous trips to Galatasaray in the Champions League. So the odds are really looking like Galatasaray is going to smoke Liverpool, and we'll be here for it. We love it. Yo, if you're a Scouser, you're in deep trouble today. I think this game would go differently, obviously, if it was being played at Anfield, but it's going to be at Rams Park in Turkey. So yeah, good luck, Liverpool. I predict Galatasaray to win that 2-1. Matter of fact, maybe 2-0. 2-0. Let's go 2-0. That's my refined score prediction. Because if you look at the fact that also both teams, um, Liverpool have a longer injury list, Chiesa is out, Allison is out, Conor Bradley is out, Isak is out, and then a couple of like useless people like Endo, Bajatek, and Giovanni Leone. So yeah, Liverpool have a longer injury list, and all I can say is Victor Osimhen will be waiting. Scousers.
Them dead, them dead, them dead, them dead, them dead.
I think the Scousers are dead. 2-0 was my scoreline prediction. What is your prediction for this Galatasaray versus New Liverpool game happening today? I want to know. Big up yourself if you're just tuning in. Kind reminder to hit the like button. Let me know if you're looking forward to Champions League today and tomorrow. That is what we're talking about at this very moment. We will talk Manchester United at the end, talk about the injury boosts, talk about a little bit about Diamonde, a kid that Manchester United is looking at, a prospect. But let's save that one for later because Newcastle versus Barcelona happens today at St. James's Park. Lamine Yamal at St. James's Park. Guys, we've seen this one already, just like Galatasaray Liverpool. We've seen this one in the Champions League. And let's be real. Barcelona has a very good record against English opposition in the Champions League in the knockout stages. They've won 10 out of 12 such matches since 2014. Come on, with a record like that, Barcelona is definitely going to smoke Newcastle. They've progressed each of their last 5 Champions League, last 16 ties against Premier League teams. Most recently in February when they beat Chelsea 4-1 on aggregate. So at the same time, Newcastle are on their longest ever unbeaten run in the Champions League. We know that the Premier League is shit right now, but they're on their longest unbeaten run in the Champions League. And I don't think that's going to match up versus the likes of Lewandowski versus the likes of Rafinha. And then second half, Rashford is going to come in to put the cherry on the icing. And yeah, it's going to be a long day for Eddie Howe, in my opinion. What do you think how do you think that game is going to go? I want to know your prediction. I want to know your thoughts on the Newcastle versus Barcelona game. Are you going to be more tuned into that one? Do you think that's actually the bigger fixture of the day? What are your thoughts on this? It's okay even if you're indifferent and you're like, well, I'm a Manchester United fan. I have no dog in this fight. That is okay too, you know. But even if that's the case, I want to know who you think is going to get the better of the other today. Will it be Newcastle? Can Eddie Howe somehow pull off? Like we saw how they played versus Manchester United. They didn't even need the extra men. Could they beat Barcelona though? That's the question I am posing to you. Let me know your thoughts. My prediction, my scoreline prediction. I will even go to the extent of the scoreline. I know that Barcelona are the favorites. I know that Lamine Yamal is here to cook. I know that Eddie Howe's team has been doing shit in the Premier League. But St. James's Park is just a weird place. St. James's Park feels like, I don't know, it's a boogie ground. It's got ghosts. It's got ancestors. Somebody needs to do. We need the Ghostbusters, like with the machine that they have. Somebody needs to go check what it is about the air, the grass, the water, something at St. James's. Do we pack bottled water when we go to St. James's Park? We need to investigate things like that because there is something going on. And I believe Barcelona will not win. They will draw today at St. James's Park. I presume, matter of fact, I predict it could be a 1-1 type of game. Lewandowski scoring a penalty, Anthony Gordon scoring. That's how I think that game might go. What do you think about it? Big up yourself if you're just tuning in. Thank you for being here. Men like Vegeta in the building. Compost in the house as well. Vegeta says, bro, so early. Are you on leave? No, I'm not. I'm actually about to start getting busier at work again. So yeah. So that's gonna be an interesting adjustment to the schedule. I most likely won't be able to do all the watch alongs I want to do this week. So hopefully Vegeta, hopefully Joe Blackman, hopefully somebody can stop in and keep the communitying, if you get what I'm saying. Another game that we have to talk about in the Champions League, by the way, happening today is Atalanta versus Bayern Munich. Now, I think we all know who's David, who's Goliath here. It's a matter of how much will David be in the mood. To run for his life, because Goliath is going to be hunting for a place in the quarterfinal. I'm talking about Bayern Munich is going to let's not forget, like Bayern's only defeat in that last 12 round of 16 games was in Italy. But they go into this fixture having won 7 of the 8 Champions League games this season. So that barring Arsenal, Bayern Munich are the most informed team in the Champions League, arguably. So Atalanta is, well, they're doing inshallah tactics. Today, there will be a massacre at the New Balance Arena. The New Balance Arena will be out of balance. Atalanta will be under the mercy of Olise, Harry Kane, Luis Diaz, Kimmich. They are going to be here for blood, and Vincent Company is here for business. I am going to confidently say Bayern Munich will thrash Atalanta 4-0. You heard it here first. Hit the like button for these free score predictions. I should be charging Because these guys, these predictions are going to be true. Watch we come back to this video after Atlanta beats Bayern Munich. No, but honestly, I'm making my prediction based on just the empirical data that's ahead of us. Bayern Munich is have the highest goals per game ratio of any teams in the knockout stages right now. They're scoring 1.9 games, 1.9 goals per game. You know, so Atalanta is really the small fish of this fixture. Matter of fact, if we're going to do a prediction of the aggregate score, this one, ladies and gentlemen, could go to double digits when we look at the return fixture being at the Allianz Arena. Oh my God. Like if Atalanta lose by more than 3 at in Germany, they're going to lose by more than 5. And we're talking about a massacre in a potential massacre in our hands. Olisa is going to bring the big spoon, H. Don. He is here to cook. And so is Harry Kane. Guys that are informed this year, by the way. Atletico Madrid will also host the Tottenham Hotspur today. Oh shit! This is the one that I keep on going back and forth in my mind about. I keep on thinking Spurs is going to pull off an upset because this competition every now and then has a major upset. Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham. Who are you picking? Who do you think is going to win? Guys, there's about 30 people in the building. I want to kindly request for all the people that just walked in right now to hit the like button. Kind request. And then the second thing, follow-up request is who do you think is going to win? Atletico Madrid or Tottenham Hotspur? This game is interesting because Spurs is in the ugliest form. You thought Newcastle is in ugly form in the Premier League. Spurs is in real super ugly. They have lost each of the last 5 Premier League games and having not won any of the last 11 in the league for the first time since 1975. Spurs are in piss poor form. Atletico, on the other hand, they do have a poor record against English opposition in the Champions League. They've only won one of their last 10 matches, a 1-0 defeat versus United in 2022. It has to be us, right? So where is Atletico Madrid in La Liga standings? They are third after experiencing 5 losses this season. So they could definitely forget about any talk of a champions of a domestic league title. They're just there to be the bridesmaids, to be third. You know how Arsenal likes second, Atletico Madrid likes thirds. Hey, not everybody can be first. So Atletico Madrid really also need some sort of silverware, and they need to take this competition seriously. And we know that they can smell blood. They're one of those teams that play dark arts type of football. So they, as I said, that while Spurs are in piss poor form, Atletico Madrid haven't lost a home Champions League knockout game under Diego Simeone, winning 7 out of 11. Do you hear that? Atletico haven't lost a home Champions League knockout game under Diego Simeone. They've won 7 out of 11 at the Vicente Calderon and 6 out of 8 at the Metropolitano. So it's a toss up, this one, in terms of the score line. It could be Atletico winning this 3-0, 2-0, but also they could be an upset in the second leg. First leg will probably go to Atletico Madrid, but ultimately in the aggregate score, I feel like Spurs have a surprise that nobody in the world of football is ready for. That is my thought. Remember to hit the like button, by the way, if you're just tuning in. Thank you for being here. Men like Joe Blackman in the house. Thank you, my G. Okay, so these are the games today. We talked about Galatasaray, Liverpool. We've talked about Atlanta, Bayern, Munich. We've talked about Atletico Madrid versus Spurs. And we've talked about Newcastle versus Barcelona. Tomorrow, though, bring your plates because there will be more cookings in the Champions League. Bayer Leverkusen versus the Arsenal. Oh shit! Bayer Leverkusen versus Arsenal. Boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Bayer Leverkusen versus Arsenal, I think, is not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. But the favorites are Arsenal. Let's be real. The Gunners are having an excellent season at the moment. They, even in the Champions League, I believe they went through the group stages without experiencing a loss. And obviously, we know in the Premier League they're currently at the top, and they are looking like the ones that are going to go through here. Now, here is the caveat, though. Leverkusen have progressed from 4 of the 5 major European knockout ties against English clubs. They failed to do that once, right? I said 4 out of 5. It was versus Liverpool in 04-05. So Arsenal are the only team who haven't trailed at any point in the Champions League this season. The odds are favoring Arsenal, but this is a home game for Bayer Leverkusen. It's going to be at the Bay Arena. So home ground advantage. If anything, home ground advantage can come and help Bayer Leverkusen, in my opinion. If they can survive the corner kicks, they can nick a result. Pull a Michael Carrick type of job. You know what I'm saying? They have a kid called Grimaldo. He has 5 direct free kick goals this season. That's the most in Europe's top 5 leagues. Arsenal, you give Grimaldo a free kick. We will be there. As long as Bayer Leverkusen are smart and actually do not concede from a corner. Defend your corners well, you will survive Arsenal. That's my message to Bayer Leverkusen. Who else after Liverpool took Frimpong? They have this guy called Montreal Calbreth. I don't know if he's German, but I don't know if he's actually going to be capable of actually being causing problems on that left hand side for Arsenal, because they are probably going to play Hincapie on the left, on left back. So yeah, we will see. We'll see how that game goes. Even though, as I said, Arsenal are the favorites, I feel like Bayer Leverkusen could nick a 1-0 here. Real Madrid versus Man City. It feels like this one is so familiar. It's as familiar as like hooking up with your ex. Really, don't do that, by the way. Yeah, Man City are probably gonna outplay Real Madrid, and then Real Madrid are gonna try and mount a comeback in the second leg. That's usually how this fixture goes. We've seen this Netflix movie before. But what makes the Netflix movie a little bit different this season is that the second leg is at the Etihad. So Real Madrid can make their donkey out of themselves if they bottle today's game. They need to make sure that they do not lose. If they lose by a big margin today, it's going to be a long day at the Etihad. I'm talking about not just the regular Real Madrid. We're talking about this is an Mbappe-less Real Madrid, a Bellingham-less Real Madrid, a Rodrigo-less Real Madrid, a Militao-less, and Alaba-less Real Madrid. Significant injuries. They are easily at their weakest. And Man City have to be able to smell blood. If Pep Guardiola's team can score more than 2, more than 3, it's going to be peak at the Etihad in the return fixture. So my feeling is that Man City will win, but ultimately, Real Madrid need to make sure Man City win by 1-0 or like by 2-1 type of game. This is what needs to happen. Big up to you, Lou Man in the building. Lou Man says, Puppy, in last night's FA Cup, both teams were using the Arsenal tactics in corners surrounding the keeper. Oh my God. Somebody please say football, because
my disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Said this, it is spreading. Artetaritis is spreading faster than COVID. We saw Everton catch it. Now we talking FA Cup teams catching it. Somebody please vaccinate football. The Premier League needs to have a meeting expeditiously. My God. If today's games have Arteta type corners, man, I'm going to be mad. By the way, Rodri has been sanctioned, by the way, ahead of this Premier League clash. He's been fined £80,000 by the FA for comments made after that draw to Spurs back in February. He implied that the referee Robert Jones was not neutral after the disappointing result at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and because City bottled a 2-goal lead, right? And Rodri was hit with an expensive fine, but he escaped a ban with just a warning. £80,000. It's a lot of money, but for Rodri, that's holiday money. So I don't know if the FA really know what the if the FA think that being effective with this type of reprimand. They released a statement saying improper manner during a post-match media interview by making comments that imply bias and all question the integrity of a match official. Crazy, crazy that players can get fined, and then I don't know if that trying if this is a fundraising type of like rule or if they're actually trying to have behavioral change. If you want players to behave differently, you have to actually have punishment that works, punishment that's effective, in my opinion. So, anyway, that's Rodri. Also, by the way, on Rodri, he's been making the news lately. For somebody that is usually quiet, doesn't use social media, Rodri, his neighbors have been complaining that he apparently he flies around a drone. I don't know if he's trying to like copy if he's trying to fly the drone to the Emirates to copy Arsenal tactics, corner kick tactics, or what. But Rodri, his neighbors have been complaining about him flying a drone and invading that privacy. You think I'm bluffing? This is a picture of Rodri right here flying a drone. The neighbors are complaining. Usually, usually, these are the guys that like, are the ones that like that privacy is getting invaded. But Rodri is out here invading other people's privacy. Crazy. You can't script this. But anyway, that's Real Madrid versus Manchester City. I believe it'll be a City win, 2-1 win to City at the Bernabeu. That is my score prediction. Another game that is not so enticing is Bodo Glimt versus Sporting. Um, don't know much about both teams really, except that Sporting is the former club of a former manager who shall not be mentioned today. But Bodo Glimt have won their last 4 games in the Champions League. They made an especially impressive performance. They've beat Man City, they've beat Atletico Madrid, they've beat Inter twice to get to this point. So they're no walkover. Bodo Glimt is out here as the dark horse of this season's Champions League. They have a good record against Portuguese opposition. And Sporting, on the other hand, have won 2 and lost 1 of their previous 3 games away to Norwegian opposition. Okay, so that should be interesting. I think Bodo Glimt should go through here and should win tomorrow's game. But yeah, these are the games tomorrow. Another one will be PSG Chelsea. PSG versus Chelsea. That's the last game tomorrow. My God, fireworks. That one, Joao Pedro is the man of the moment. Obviously, he's one of the most informed players, forwards in the Premier League right now. He scored a hat trick when Chelsea beat Villa. And yeah, Chelsea is just in high scoring form. And Joao Pedro has scored 14 goals in 2026. Second only to Harry Kane across Europe's top 5 leagues. So Joao Pedro is the man of the moment. By the way, if you didn't know, even not Enzo Maresca, Liam Rossignol, the Chelsea manager, he called Joao Pedro world class. You hear that? He called him world class. I was like, okay. All right. So, man of the moment, we will be there when he cooks versus PSG. Or maybe it might be a moment for Garnacho. But we know that PSG, when they have that full squad, they are a very tough proposition. The only player that is doubtful that I think will be a big miss is João Neves. But Zaire Emery can fit in there. They also have another kid called Dro Fernandez. And yeah, that kid is also really good. So, but having just Vitinha as the only like vet in there might make PSG's midfield a little too weak. And you know, these games are won and lost in midfield. So Chelsea might just get the better of PSG in the first leg in France, in my opinion. What do you think about that game? I think Chelsea will win this one 2-1, 2-0. And then there'll be more popcorn for the second leg. That is the Champions League round of 16 prediction and preview in my way. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I want to hear if you have any thoughts about these Champions League games, because I want to also pivot to the club that we love and hate, Manchester United. Hate in the sense that we should be in this. We should be in a competition, man. Just one other competition. Is that too much to ask? It's ridiculous. Feels like we're in an international break. You know? I don't know if you have heard before we go deeper with Manchester United. There is a new kid around the block, a new maverick around the block who goes by the name of Yan Diamonde. This guy that you're looking at is a wonder kid. Easily well over £100 million in worth, price. This kid right here is considered to be a superior transfer target to many, many, many big clubs in Europe. Manchester United is one of the clubs that are eyeing a move for Yan Diamonde. Why? He's a player that brings quite a lot, even at his young age. He brings a lot of potential. It seems like he can play almost everywhere up front. Either wing, he can play as a second striker. He's very, very, very versatile. Apparently, I think he can play with both feet. Let me just double check this. I was reading somewhere that he doesn't know which foot he prefers. He prefers whichever foot can kick the ball. But even though it's on transfer market, it says right. But I think he's good with both feet. And he's definitely good on both the left or the right wing. He can play as a second striker, as I said. He can play as a 10. The thing that makes him stand out from many other players that are his age, which is 19 years of age, is the fact that he is so explosive. He has got so much speed and so much dynamism. He has a lot of pace. And if you put any defender on a one-on-one situation with Yan Diamonde, rumor is that there is usually a smell on the pitch because the defender has crapped himself. He's also praised for his hard working ethic, high presser, high intensity pressing. His output is outputting for somebody his age. 11 goals and 7 assists. That's 18 GA in 27 appearances. Not 27 starts, but 27 appearances. So Diamonde is a target with a high price tag that Manchester United and a couple of other top teams are looking at. So I'm just mentioning him, showing you a picture of him so that you remember this name. We will be talking about him, I am sure, as the summer looms. So big up Yandia Monday. We will be watching to see how your career evolves. Oh, I forgot to mention where he was from. Did I mention he's made of vibranium? He's from Wakanda land. He's from Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. Come on, man. I know what Pav is gonna say. We don't want another African that we're gonna lose to AFCON. Which is a fair concern. Imagine now, next year's AFCON, we miss Ahmad, we miss Diamonde. Oh, Lord, the list. Nah, 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 nah. I hear that concern. But hey, if you've got the quality and you are a potential very, very good investment for the future, I think it's a no-brainer to go for Yan Diamonde, in my opinion. What do you think? Have you heard about this kid? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your what you've heard, your research about Yan Diamonde, especially after I put the link in the chat. Big up to Tammy in the building, Tammy Tuma in the house. I appreciate you, homie. Let's get to the Manchester United talk about Aston Villa, because we play this Sunday. We host Aston Villa at Old Trafford. It will conclude an extended 11-day break since we have our last loss to Newcastle. Okay. Team news. Carrick will be without De Ligt. He's expected to be without De Ligt, without Dorgu. They're both still recovering from long-term injuries. Now, Mason Mount. Hear this out, guys. Mason Mount, Lisandro Martinez are also working towards returns. Oh, shit! While we await an update on Mazraoui, who started in our last game versus Newcastle, but remember he came off the pitch looking like he was in some discomfort. So hopefully Mazraoui will be back and Mount and Martinez are closer to a return. This is the update that I wanted to hear, especially on Lisandro Martinez, because of how important and pivotal he is to our team. Literally, he's the difference between me saying, oh, we will beat Chelsea, to, oh, we will draw versus Chelsea. Or we might lose versus Chelsea when we play them at the Bridge in a few weeks. Now, I don't expect Lisandro Martinez to feature in the game, but even if he's in the match day squad, that will give me some hope. That will give me some encouragement. Yeah. So Mazraoui as well needs to be in there, because Mazraoui, for me, is a difference maker, especially when everybody else is playing well. Mazraoui just adds that extra ball security that we need at the back. So we will know, obviously, the absolute latest on this when we hear the presser on Friday. But for Aston Villa, Yuri Tillemans, Kamara, and Garcia are said to be missing for Aston Villa. Those are news that we welcome, especially Yuri Tillemans. John McGinn was progressively getting better from his knee injury sustained in January when the situation was last addressed by Unai Emery. So it remains to be seen whether he is in contention to play at Old Trafford. Thank you, John McGinn. I wish you a recovery after we play at Old Trafford. Yeah, John McGinn is another player that usually shows up when when it's time to play Manchester United. That is why I'm happy that he most likely will not feature. Tabby says, I am more happy for Martinez than Mason Mount. 100%. Mason Mount, I don't know how he even fits in a Michael Carrick team. Shout out to Preem in the building saying big up bots, keep pushing. We out here, fam. We out here, Preem. Big up yourself. Hope that you're doing good. So yeah, John McGinn will most likely not feature as well. Harvey Elliott and Medicash are the only players with recent issues. And like Carrick, the Villa boss may provide further information when we hear the presser on Friday. We also know that Jadon Sancho is ineligible to play due to the fact that he's on loan. I don't think anybody was worried about Jadon Sancho. The question is, should we be worried about? Tammy's asking about Amadou Onana. I think we will know these things more when the weekend is closer. Right? Let's see. Yeah, in the injury list, as I said, right? Matty Cash, Garcia, Harvey Elliott, Yuri Tillemans, John McGinn, and Kamara. That's the Aston Villa injury list. But yeah, we will know more when the time is closer. But also, chances are Amadou Onana will be in, Brett. I'm looking right now to see how Aston Villa played in the last game. What the lineup was when they lost to Chelsea. There we go. I finally found the lineup. So they had Onana. Shit. Yeah, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. Onana, Douglas Luiz, and Rogers. And Rogers is a slippery mofo. And Bailey as well. Guys, yeah, we will have the proper Aston Villa preview conversation, but yeah, the link is in the chat if you want to call in. Big up to Stephanie saying, yes, the return of Licha, our unofficial captain. He is the unofficial captain, 100%. 100% Lisandro Martinez is the unofficial captain. The fighting spirit that he brings for me is what I value the most. I think we need more of that. Just the high fives. They are so underrated. High fives, the little celebrations that make you feel like, you know what? We're still in this game. We're fighting in this game together. We're defending together. Those little moments, they are so underrated. But Lisandro Martinez brings them. Lisandro Martinez brings that energy. And, we need that. We miss that. Big up to you if you're just tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. There's a link in the chat. I want to know your thoughts about anything that's trending. Champions League round of 16 today. Who do you think is going to go through? Lisandro Martinez and Mason Mount potentially getting closer and closer to a return on the pitch. How do you feel about Manchester United with the injury boosts that we're getting ahead of the weekend? Also, whatever else is going on, let's see. Let's actually look around to see other football news that is going on. Oh yeah. By the way, I thank Luman for bringing up the FA Cup conversation, because West Ham and Brentford went to penalties yesterday, and yeah, it was West Ham that reached the FA Cup quarterfinals for the first time since 2016. Yeah, after a dramatic penalty shootout. Can you believe that somebody attempted a Panenka penalty? Oh, that game was interesting. You should check it out. Check out the highlights at least. If you wanna just enjoy. Um, let's see what else is going on in the world of football. Ooh, transfer rumors, transfer news. Manchester United, $107 million hunt. What are they talking about? Manchester, they're saying Manchester United is eyeing. Who are they eyeing though? They just made a headline with Man United's $107 million hunt. That's a headline. And then they put Real Madrid eye frustrated Arsenal star. And nothing about Manchester United. They made me click though. Um, these guys at the expense of my club, they try and sell clicks. We already talked about Rodri being sanctioned, being fined. Um, Eddie Howe's deeper message to Newcastle players draws focus on salvaging season. Yeah, he definitely needs to salvage this season for sure. Because Eddie Howe is in the mud. He is in the mud. Like, there's no way Newcastle is winning the Champions League, but also imagine he gets knocked out in round of 16. He's definitely getting the sack. You know? Somehow he's also avoided being in the media, because if he was Manchester United manager, he would be getting crucified for that league form. Imagine us next season, we're doing the way Newcastle is doing. 13th in the Premier League, but in the round of 16. Such a weird place. Or that 12th right now. Such a weird place to be in. 12th in the Premier League, but you're in the round of 16 in the Champions League. It's like, yeah, you're definitely, that you've missed it this season, and you're just here to hang on as long as you can. If you can make it to the quarterfinals, then you have salvaged something, or maybe semis. That'll be a very big achievement for Eddie Howe if he can make it to the semifinals of the Champions League. Then maybe he might have a case to say, listen, guys, I had a lot of injuries this season. Like, it's a very, very complicated situation that he's in. Eddie doesn't know how this season. Yeah. That deserves a like. That deserves a like right there. Oh, Stephanie, you just couldn't resist, couldn't you? Yeah, no, he doesn't know how. So he needs to save his season. But we know that winning the Champions League is not in the cards. So what is a successful season for Eddie Howe? Guys, hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Thank you for being here. Champions League today will be hella interesting. What are you looking forward to today? Which game are you looking forward to today? Who would be the next Newcastle manager after Eddie Howe? That's the question. Because surely he's got to get fired. Ten Hag. I can see Ten Hag there. Ruben, will he still be unemployed? I'll be crazy. Ruben Amorim to Newcastle. Nah. Doesn't even ring. Doesn't, you know what I mean? Nah, some things they just nah. I don't think that's gonna happen. I see more Eric Ten Hag than Ruben Amorim. But it'll be very, very interesting to see who will be the next manager for Newcastle. By the way, did you know Arsenal have lost the fewest matches of any Premier League club in all competitions this season? They've also played the most matches. Let that sink in for a second. If you're an Arsenal hater, you may not want to hear this. Look at this for a moment. Manchester United have 7 losses. Hold on, let's see. So Arsenal, 3 losses, 46 games. Jeez. 3 losses in 46 games. That's crazy. City, 7 losses. 5 in the Premier League. And I think the 2 in the Champions League. United, 7 losses. Is it 7 or 8? I feel like it's 8. Is this expected losses, says Stephanie? No. It was just a a stat that put the different things into perspective a little bit, showing how dominant Arsenal have been, and while playing a lot of games, they're definitely winning something this season. There is some silverware that they're gonna win, whether you like it or not, whether you love to banter them or not. That is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but we will be here. It's not gonna be long. We will know the answer to this. I don't know which trophy they're gonna win, but they will win a trophy. It could be the Carabao Cup. It could be FA Cup. It could be the Premier League. Yeah. Anyway, let's quickly also pivot to this. I wanted to check something. Have you guys heard about this Mauricio Pochettino on the short list to become Real Madrid boss next season? There is some serious reports that are linking Pochettino to be on the short list. Yes, Mauricio Pochettino. I wonder why, but it's out there. Los Blancos might have a new manager in Mauricio Pochettino next season. Sources say that Real Madrid are evaluating different candidates to lead the new sporting project, and that Pochettino is one of the coaches highly regarded by Florentino Perez. He has been heavily linked with a return to Spurs this summer. Could be somebody also to take over that position. But all that is contingent on how the United States obviously do in the World Cup. Right? My guess is United States gets knocked out in the round of 16. Pochettino says thank you for the opportunity. He packs his bags. He goes to Spain. Or goes to England. There's so many jobs opening up. Newcastle, Spurs, United. Pochettino is going to show up and knock on the door and say, "Hi, I heard y'all hiring." Right? Yes. Big up, Stephanie. Yes, it was 8 losses for United. Grimsby and Brighton. Oh my God. Um, Unai Emery. Good evening. Will be an interesting managerial appointment if they do. Because there is for sure turbulence with um, Aston Villa. Guys, if you look at the net spend of Aston Villa, you'll realize that they have Unai Emery has overachieved. And surely somebody has to come and scoop him up and say, listen, you deserve more resources. You deserve a team that will back you financially. So, yeah. Um, this is going to be an interesting game, by the way. If you guys are aware, the finalissima, guys aware about the finalissima, which would be um which would see Barcelona play Inter Miami. The finalissima might be the location of the finalissima is still to be decided at the moment, right? The winner of the European champions and the Copa America winners is supposed to be played on March 7th at Doha Lusail Stadium. But with the Qatar Football Association postponing all tournaments and matches until further notice following the political situation, the finalissima is in doubt. So we will be standing by to see where Messi versus Yamal is going to happen. That should be an interesting game. Lionel Messi versus Lamine Yamal. It will not be in Doha at this point in time. That's the update on that one anyway. From the Spanish Football Association chief or Football Federation president. So yeah, as I am about to wrap up, I wanna kindly come back to the conversation about today, Champions League. What are you saying about it? I also want to ask you one last question, which is between Newcastle and Barcelona. The Newcastle that beat us and the Barcelona that also we don't like as Man United fans. Which team would you rather see win? Sort of a double-edged sword, this thing. No, Stephanie, I unfortunately will not be able to do a watch along, but I think I will be able to do a recap or we'll recap the the Champions League games tomorrow again at this time. I think that's what we'll do. Yeah. Um, it's an easy win for Spain if it happens, says Tommy. Okay, all right. No messy venues, says Stephanie. Yeah, for me the finalissima is an interesting game. I'll be the moment it's we know when it's happening or where it's happening. Definitely, I want to make sure that I do a watch along for that. But yeah, today watch out. There might be a watch party with maybe Joe, maybe Vegeta, might pull up. But the main important thing is that you hit the like button, you hit the notification bell, and you subscribe. That is the one request that I have for you. Thank you for being here. Well, already an hour, 10 minutes into the show, and I want to conclude it. Um, and by saying, hold on, check this out. Before you hit the like button, before you go, there's always a moment of laughter that we have to share before we part ways. If you know anything about me, let's look at the next fixtures for Manchester City, by the way. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Uh the reason why I say let's look at them, it's because they're the hardest upcoming fixtures. I feel like Pep Guardiola has been set up all this time. He had been getting easy draws in competitions, but check this out. Real Madrid away. West Ham is probably the easiest one of the lot, but we all know West Ham is not easy at home. Real Madrid again at the Etihad. Then they play Arsenal for the final of the Carabao Cup, and then they play Liverpool, and then they play Chelsea away, and then they play Arsenal at home. Oh my God.
Them dead, them dead, them dead.
We will be there. We will be there.
Guardiola is definitely scratching his head for sure. This time we will be there. That's gonna be very interesting. Stephanie said, "I want Barca to win to beat other Premier League teams later in the tournament." I, as long as they beat the other teams in the tournament and knock them out, I'm with that. Boy, Man City have a mountain to climb. Send. Should we say pray hashtag pray for Guardiola? It's a good thing. This uh what you call it, like this community is not that big where like I'll make a dumb thing trend like hashtag pray for Guardiola, because boy, it's not looking good. The next fixtures is gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough one. Anyway, one last reminder, by the way. I want to show you this thing from a few weeks ago during a Turkish game. A goalkeeper's long kick struck a seagull mid-air, and the player rushed in and performed CPR, and the bird survived. Check this out. You can't script this. The seagull literally died for a second, and this player performed CPR, and the seagull got to live. If that doesn't make you hit the like button, you'll never hit the like button.